Hello. So here I am. I probably don't have everything I need. I'm going to attempt to mount 5 pedals per board, power supply and ES8, all to this Rockboard Club by Warwick. With screws, no Velcro, no nothing. So pretty much putting screws at the bottom. I tried to find screws that fit into the already drilled, or already the thing that I can't remember what it's called. I tried to take 2 of these screws out and pretty much put 2 screws through the bottom here. The problem is, in Germany we don't have this size twiddly thing. Thread. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so I'm going to have to get a little bit creative. Possibly, I've got these screws right here. And I'm going to try to use those. Trying to fix them on the inside of the pedals somehow. Right here. Pretty much drilling a hole in here, putting the screw in from, and then I can use a washer. No, that's not a washer, that's a nut. Little nut. I'm gonna try this, but first, you see, on this board we have 2, so we're gonna do everything twice. I've already fit the ES8 from Boss on it, and it pretty much is sticking out maybe a millimeter or 2, and maybe not even 1 millimeter over here. So it's absolutely perfect. It's super mega flush at the front. It's perfect, can't be better. So this is a perfect fit for this board. And doesn't it look just neat? Obviously it's a little bit overkill for 5 pedals, but we're looking at the features that we want, not necessarily using all 8 loops. So feature wise this is perfect. And I'm gonna take it off again, because actually the first thing we need to do with this board is make it higher. Because the pussy power, if we mount it like this, which might still be a problem, isn't going to fit. It's too high. So we need to actually make the feet higher. However we're gonna do this. Probably taking these out. That's probably a good plan. However I do that, I'll figure this out. So one problem with the pussy power here is, since Nik will very likely travel the world, she needs different kind of plugs. So I can't just make one that fits. I could just do this, you know, put this in here and mount it, and then it's always mounted. That's doable, but then she only has this plug. So we want her to be, you want the roadie to be able to pretty much take this out. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Now we need the roadie to be able to access this part, and it's not gonna happen if... I might have to take something out of here. We're gonna find out. We'll look at that in a sec. First, we have to get the feet higher. So, step number 1 happening right now. So that was easy enough. I just drilled through these pieces of whatever they are. And now I have ultra long screws. I'm gonna sacrifice some prettiness of the board, meaning you will have screw heads on top of the board, which we can paint over to make them disappear a little bit. But I want it to be super stable, so therefore I'm actually going to opt for going all the way through. I don't want any screws that cut into the aluminum and then, you know, the feet break off. So we're gonna use these really long ass screws, for which I have to drill long ass holes. with a long ass drill. Cause only the best for my lady Nik West.
I had to leave you. You said that I need to, so I left I went so far away, so nobody else could ever tell what I feel, what I
Okay, this is clearly more of a bitch than I thought, but we have the higher feet mounted and they seem to be very stable. And there's metal flakes everywhere. Gonna have to seriously vacuum here. So, we've got this happening. And the pedals can go... That still works. I think we're gonna finish one board first and then I go for the second one. So, now, let's check the possibilities for the pussy power.
built my America, a new shining light from a distance away. So don't from the inside, so don't from the inside. How do I address you when I wanna impress you? Big and high and wide, more colorful and bright. I'm building a mystery around my own history. I'm newborn and wild. It's not too late to come back to me, 'cause I am a new shining light from a distance so beautiful. So torn from inside, so torn from inside. But how do I know if you see what became of?
Wow, okay, as you have clearly seen, all these things are kind of a bitch to do. I tried several things. I tried what Paul Cioks from Cioks suggested, which is mounting the pussy power like this, with a bracket like this. So, and then taking washers to secure it here. But there is still a good 3 millimeters between this bracket here and this, whatever you call it, and the pussy power. So it's not gonna work. But by going all the way through, which of course gives me these 2 screws on top here, which isn't a major deal. This is extremely solid. I can wiggle it a tiny bit, but it's fine. When it's sitting on the floor now, this is a pubic hair above the ground. So if you have a wobbly stage, the pussy power might possibly be on the stage. If you have a straight stage, you're good. So, and as you can see, I can actually put my power cable through here. I had to take out, oh my god, there's a lot of crap coming out. I had to take out a good chunk right here with my trusty Dremel. so that this works. I'm gonna have to do that on the other board too. But you know what? The pussy power is worth it. And for the roadie, you're gonna need some pliers, because you cannot get in here. So that means you cannot accidentally pull out the power cable. If you're changing, we're gonna just leave this in. But if you're changing countries or continents, you take this, you wiggle it out. Man, that's tough. And there you go. I'm gonna push this through here. And you can take this out. There you go. So you don't want to do this at every gig, but it's not necessary because we're just gonna leave the power cable on there. But you clearly want to do it when you change continents, so you're gonna have to do that every couple of weeks. So that's okay, I think. Not the best way to do it, but it's definitely a stable way. And it allows us to use the pussy power on this board, which is what we have. So, moving on. What's next on the agenda? I'm thinking it is time. Let's see. Washers, washers, washers. We have a lot of shit on the table here. See, most the boards I usually build are for, you know, assembly, de-assembly, keep them a week. This has to be with Nik for quite a while, so we're gonna make it very stable. These screws on top aren't ideal, but you know what? I'm gonna live with them, and that's it. These two holes that are drilled, well, I drilled them for nothing because I couldn't do what I was gonna do. The great thing is that we can actually see the pussy power through here. So maybe, if we're lucky, we'll be able to see the pulsating pussy. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Not sure yet. So, we already have the holes for the ES8. That leaves us with trying to put some holes in very expensive MXR pedals. This is gonna lose metal forever. Metal! So, what are we gonna start with? Are we gonna start with the bass compressor? So here's what I wanna do. Wait, I have to figure out actually up and down and up and down. So we're gonna do, wait. It is going to be compressor. I need to plug in the evidence audio jacks to see how far I can go. So this will work. I could even go all the way up here. Let's see. And I think then we're gonna do the envelope filter. I played around with the order on these pedals to see what sounds best. Envelope into octave, octave into envelope, envelope into fuzz, octave into fuzz, fuzz into octave, technically octave into fuzz. But now that I have the ES8, I'm not too worried about it anymore because I could really change it up in every preset. So it doesn't really matter at all what order I put these in, because I can move it around any way I want. Man, these colors are cool. Sparkling blue, like a sparkly kind of purple, which really fits our color scheme. See, up, down. That fits nicely, and then up, and then down, and then technically up again. But this has, of course, why do they make the ins and outs exactly the same on the same height? I don't get this. But yeah, this can work. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little bit more space. I'd like to go down there with the cable if that is in any way possible. It'll be tough. All the way out. It has to go down further. Okay, so with these pedals, not a problem, I can do it. Now, the problem is that the octa bass from EBS is wider. How do I do that? Because I don't know what Nik's gonna use. I might potentially have to go all the way on the outside here. Let me see. Okay, this could work. Because the feet, let me see. Yes, it can work because the feet on the Octave bass are actually high enough so that those screws are not in the way. So I could have this up here, which kind of messes up my up and downy kind of look. But the MXR would be kind of down here, and I have two different holes. Yep. Yeah, feet on the MXR are missing the tiniest bit. Okay. So this is doable. So we're gonna start with the bass compressor. Positioning, obviously, for those holes will be very, very crucial. So if the bass compressor is up here, I'm probably gonna try to put a hole in the upper part of the bass compressor. Anywhere above the jack. Okay, I'm gonna try to do that.